What is up, guys? I am Get Flanked, and what you just saw there was Lion, one of the new attackers coming with Operation Chimera, and Ubisoft was nice enough to allow me to capture the new operators at the Invitational. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about Lion. We're going to go over his loadout, what options he has there, and then I'll show you some gameplay. We'll talk about his gadget, which is extremely powerful. He can basically see through walls, and I'll give you my thoughts on just the short time that I was able to play him. Now, getting into Lion's loadout, he is a 2-armor, 2-speed attacker from the CBRN CTU. Both the new operators coming with Operation Chimera are going to be attackers. That's important to know. Lion has 3 primary weapons available to him: an assault rifle, a marksman rifle, and a shotgun. The first one we're going to look at there is the V308. It's the assault rifle. It looks like the Vector, but it's got that drum magazine, and they do actually call it an assault rifle. It doesn't play anything like the Vector. You can see there the damage is higher. It's got a 44 damage. The fire rate's much lower at 850, and then it's got that much bigger capacity of 50 rounds. So yes, it does look like Mira's Vector, but it doesn't play anything like that gun. All of the gameplay clips you're going to see with Lion are going to be me using this V308. It plays more similar to Ying's LMG, in all honesty. It's better than that gun. It's better than Ying's LMG, but it plays more similar to that than Mira's Vector. But you'll get to see that, and you can judge for yourself. Moving on to Lion's marksman rifle, the 417. Nothing really out of the ordinary. It's going to be a semi-auto marksman rifle. You see the damage there is 69, I believe. The interesting thing there is the capacity is only 10, and that's pretty low. And that could be an interesting dynamic to this marksman rifle. And finally, I'll show you the shotgun he has available, the SGCQB. It's a pump-action shotgun, so that will give you an indication as far as the fire rate with it. It'll be similar to the other pump-action shotguns in the game. One thing I want to say, all the attachments, I'm not going to show them to you, all the attachments on the weapon are your normal attacker attachments. Both of the assault rifle and the marksman have the ACOG available. All barrel attachments are normal. I didn't see anything weird there. As far as his secondary, he has an option between like a high-capacity pistol that does lower damage, and then he has the revolver, which does really high damage. And then as far as the gadget that he has available, he's got claymores or flash grenades. Okay, so let's get into some actual gameplay. I know you guys are really curious about his gadget and the way it works, because yeah, it's basically, it allows you to see enemies through walls anywhere on the map. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play around here. It'll show you me using him and using his gadget. I'm just going to let it play, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Okay guys, so there you saw an attacking round with Lion, and you can see how his gadget basically works there. You pull it out, it basically scans for a couple seconds. There's like a 3-second countdown there, and then it'll show you any enemies on the map that are currently moving. That is a key. If the enemies are sitting perfectly still, then it will not show them. And by still, I mean not walking. You can rotate your mouse around, or your right thumbstick. But if you're actually moving, like taking steps, crouch walking, or anything like that, then it's going to show your location. It's also important to note that it doesn't matter where you're at on the map or where the enemies are. This works throughout the entire map. It doesn't matter how many walls are in between you. Nothing like that matters. It's just it has what they call a global effect on the map. It has no bearing on where you're located or where the enemies are located. Its effect covers the entire map. Now you can see there that it does have a cooldown, and by my calculations is around 15 seconds or so for that cooldown. You can't just spam this over and over again, and you get a maximum of 3 per round that you can use. Now when you scan, the enemy players do show up for the entire team. It's not just me that can see this, all of my teammates can also see the enemies that I've scanned as well. I'll play a clip right now of me playing as Jackal and my teammate playing as Lion so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so let's start talking about the other side. What's it like being a defender against Lion? First of all, let me show you what it looks like whenever Lion starts his scan. Okay, so you can see there that I got a notification that the scan was starting. I got that 3-second countdown, and if I would have chosen to just sit still, it wouldn't have detected me. I wouldn't have gotten that alert that I was detected by the scan. Now, it's important to note, you don't have to be still during the 3-second countdown. You only have to be still during the part where that countdown ends to when it's actually scanning and showing your teammates. So if you're standing still when it starts, but then you start moving during that period, it's going to show you. And again, I think it's only about 3 seconds that's actually active after the 3-second countdown. So that's important to know if you're trying to avoid detection. As far as a counter to Lion, mute is really the only thing that I found. If you're standing inside of a mute jammer, I'll show that on this screen. Here in just a second, you're going to see the countdown begin. I'm standing on top of a mute jammer right now. It's going off and I'm not detected. But I mean, that mute jammer radius isn't very big, so you might as well just stand still. So you can either stand inside the ring of a mute jammer, similar to Dokkaebi. You know, if you're inside that ring and Dokkaebi calls, you don't get the phone call. It works very, very similar in that respect. Or just sitting still. Now, considering that mute jammer ring isn't very big, I don't know how effective of a counter that is. But that's the only counter I found. If you're visual, it doesn't counter it. If you're Caveira, it doesn't counter it from what I saw. Now, again, I only spent a short time with these operators, so something I could have missed something, but the only counter I found so far is that mute jammer or just sitting still. Interesting little thing that I wanted to show you here. Up in the sky there, you can see Lion's drone. That's above the map stationary the entire time that Lion is selected, and that's what actually does the scanning. We tried to destroy it. We couldn't. Your friendly fire couldn't destroy it, and it doesn't move or anything. It just kind of stays stationary right there. But kind of interesting. You're going to see that on a lot of maps moving forward now. Okay, so now the question that everybody wants to know, is it OP? It's strong, I can tell you that. Keep in mind, I only actually played with him like 3 rounds in the time that I had to sit down. I'm going to do more today, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys. So time will tell. It's not that difficult to sit still and avoid it when you're playing on defense, but I can see some situations where that won't be an option. You know, you have to move. Like, think about if you get the diffuser down as an attacker and then you scan. The enemies have to be moving to go to try to disable that diffuser and take back the site. So if you're scanning them, they're not going to be able to sit still, and then you're going to know exactly where they are. So I can see where this is going to be really strong. Give it some time. We'll see how it plays out. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting aspect that they're bringing into this game. Lion's going to be a high pick. I didn't feel like his weapons were extremely strong, to be honest with you. So that might be how they're trying to balance him, like a really strong gadget. The weapon's not too strong, but we'll see. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll have more coming your way here soon.